Hello friends and welcome back to the studio. This is Susie with Gemini Connect, and today I'm here to tell you about my brand new favorite smartphone gimbal, the Hohem iSteady V2. This is a really cool gimbal with an awesome AI feature, so stay tuned to learn more about it. Now at first glance, the Hohem iSteady V2 looks a lot like its predecessor, the Hohem iSteady X. And up until now, this has been my favorite smartphone gimbal for shooting cinematic videos and making sure I get stable videos on my phone. And the V2 is pretty much the Hohem iSteady X, just with the AI feature. So if you want a full rundown on the Hohem iSteady X and a lot of the same features that are on the V2, then I'll leave a link in the description below to that full video. But here's a really quick summary of why this is such a great gimbal. First of all, it weighs 256 grams, which makes it the lightest smartphone gimbal on the market. And it's so small that it actually fits inside of my purse. So I have a super small purse that I carry around, and this gimbal fits inside just fine with lots of room to spare. So that's really my number one reason of why I love this gimbal. It's so foldable and compact and really great for travel. The gimbal has a battery that's rechargeable via USB-C. You do get a USB-C cable in the whole kit, and the battery life is about 8 hours long. The gimbal also has 6 working modes for shooting your smooth cinematic video, including pan, tilt, and follow, all lock, auto inception or auto image rotation, sport mode, face tracking mode, and POV or all follow mode. This gimbal is compatible with both iPhones and Android phones, and I primarily use it with my Samsung Galaxy S10. It's also usable with the Hohem Pro app, and this is a super important step. When you first get this gimbal, you have to connect it to the app and activate it in the app in order for it to work. Otherwise, this gimbal isn't going to power on and it's going to seem like it's broken, so make sure that you connect it to the smartphone app when you first get it. Another tip is to take your phone out of the case, because that's how this gimbal functions and balances the best. The gimbal comes again with a USB-C cable and also a mini tripod. The mini tripod is really nice for just setting the gimbal down when you're trying to balance your smartphone inside of it. So we'll go ahead and set this up. I'm gonna pop my phone inside. And there we go, the smartphone is inside and the gimbal is on and balanced, and now we're ready to go out and start shooting with the gimbal. But now let's talk about that cool AI feature. So the main difference with the Hohem iSteady V2 is that it now comes with this AI sensor up front, and that is not present on the older Hohem iSteady X. Hohem iSteady X just looks like a plain little clamp here, but this one has this sensor, and the sensor is really cool because it does two things. So first of all, you have to turn the sensor on, and there's a button up top, so you just hold it down until the light turns green. And after that, you can start using the AI features. The first one is using hand signals to go between landscape mode and portrait mode. So if you do 2 thumbs up, then the phone will flip to portrait mode. And if you do 2 thumbs to the right, the phone will flip to landscape mode. I think this is a really cool feature because on a lot of other gimbals, you have to physically press a button on the gimbal in order to flip between portrait and landscape mode. So this makes it really easy to do that without having to be super close to the gimbal. The next AI feature is enabling AI tracking by using a hand signal. So if you're in front of the camera, you can hold up the OK sign and the light indicator will turn green, and then the gimbal will start to follow you around as you move in front of it. It's kind of like having a virtual camera operator in front of you. If you ever want to disable AI tracking, you just have to hold up your palm and the gimbal will stop tracking you. So these might seem like really small features, but they're actually quite innovative. And I really appreciate that as a semi-solo content creator. I think this is a really valuable thing for vloggers or live streamers or people that create content by themselves and don't necessarily have a camera operator in front of them. The ability to use your hand signals to control the gimbal and also the orientation of your camera is really helpful, and it saves you a lot of time. And the other really cool thing is that Hohem is taking the already really great and fantastic Hohem iSteady X gimbal, which is super functional and super lightweight and compact, and just adding a small feature that I think is really going to be helpful for a lot of content creators and vloggers out there. So if you don't already have yourself a smartphone gimbal, then I really recommend looking at this Hohem iSteady V2. It's the latest gimbal to come out by Hohem, it's brand new, and it has a super cool AI feature that I haven't seen on any other gimbals on the market. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Would you try out this gimbal, or is there another smartphone gimbal that you prefer? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.